Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Hello, my name is Dom Fawcett. I want you to join Lauren, myself, Todd, Jason, Danny, and so many other speakers at the Power of We Symposium, April 28th in Chicago. I've done it 1 year. This is my second year doing it. It is going to be a game changer. Again, my name is Dom Fawcett with Think React League out of Arizona. I look forward to seeing you in Chicago at the Power of We Symposium.
Good morning to you. Oh, I did it. I held that note almost as long as Mariah Carey. Not. Anyway, y'all, good morning and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I have a little bit more energy than yesterday. Why? Because I took my ass to bed last night. That's why. Didn't stay up trying to watch the Oscars. Okay, but boy, was it good staying up. The slap heard around the world. So much going on about that. But you know what? I say this, everybody. Nothing that ever happens in life, and I do mean nothing, is ever about just one thing. So if you've been harping on, oh, Will was wrong, or oh, Chris did the right thing, or whatever it is, just remember, there's also something in there to help us become better people without being judgmental of other people. I'm going to let that hang for a minute. All right. There it is. That's the bell of purpose. Did I just accidentally pick this up and hit it? No. I picked it up on purpose, and I hit that bell with purpose. That's how you got to hit the bell of every one of your dreams. Hey, I want that thing. Okay. And now I'm going to change my life and get my mind right. Okay. That's how you do it. You got to go. You got to give it all. You got to swing that hammer like you mean it. Right? Why? Because when we mean things, whether we think it, utter it, speak it, or walk it, as long as you mean it, I guarantee you it will become meaningful instantly somewhere in the universe. May not be right in front of you, but it'll be there. Trust me on that. You guys, welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. So happy to be here because when we come together, no matter how we walked in, think about that, because we walked in all by our lonesomes, we're going to walk out different people, better people, encourage people. People prepared to go out and change the world one story, one person at a time. Why? Because there's a promise that tells us that when two or more of us comes together, we got the same mindset, we got the same heart set, we got the same soul set, because we are. Something wonderful will happen. Just like that other wonderful promise that says, when you seek, you shall find. It didn't say you might. It depends on what day of the week you're seeking. No, keep looking for it. Keep reaching for it. Keep stretching. And keep, by all means, please, 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 and please again, keep believing. Can I get an amen? All right, y'all. I want to get Travis Johnson in here. Let me see how I'm doing on time. Power We Symposium coming up, y'all. Now, what's today? The 29th. That means one more day in this month. So day after tomorrow, you might want to put on 3D glasses or something when you watch Bathrobe Moments, because I am going to be one humdinger of a cray-cray. I'm just saying. I'm not claiming. I know all you woo-woos are out there going, "Whoa, quit manifesting." I'm just saying I'm human, and I can accept my frailties. And I already know 30 days away from Power Week, I'm going to be like this. What's that? Did you hear that? What's that? I'm telling you, because it means so much to me. Listen, y'all, last week on Friday, look how God is, or whatever you believe to be greater than you. It did it. I held it up. I held my little meal sheet up, most important opportunity sheet up to show you. In the red, I had $18,800 to hit the goal for everything I need to pull this event off. Then I went back to my journals from the last two Power Weeks, and I put in there like day 40, day 39, like that. And when I was at that same exact spot, day 34, I was like $300 both years away from where I was, 17,900. Right. So I was like, well, what the hell am I worried about? That's how it always has been. It's going to take its course and work out. You guys, I want you to know, get over. We're going to put it in triple nickel. The shirts are moving. Yes, they are. And we got some celebrities that we had to overnight some to yesterday. I'll say one of the male groups who's on tour, they'll be in Greensboro, North Carolina, April 1st. That's all I can tell you. The rest of it is a surprise. And I'll say another thing. We got one coming from Jamie Foxx. He said he's going to do one for us. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah. So we're excited. Why? Because also this is going on. If you want to donate to our fund for getting what are those things called up on the screen? Gift cards. Listen, you can donate by sending money to Cash App right there. And if you are over $100, we'll give you the in-kind receipt. If you want to mail us some gift cards or anything, bracelets, some notes of encouragement. Last Power We in Atlanta, we had some little old ladies from Nashua, New Hampshire, 14 of them to be exact. They hand wrote 250 encouraging letters that they each hand wrote, sprayed them with a little perfume, just like grannies do, and put them in. And those kids, I still get letters. I got one, I think around Christmas time, a picture of a dorm room where a kid had it stuck up on the mirror, the letter from the woman. And so, you know, this is a modern day Stone Soup story. This Power We Symposium can't be done without you. And I wouldn't want it to be that way. I could have turned that W upside down and named it the Power of Me. Yeah, and I'd have been sitting inside of the Stan Mansion with a whole bunch of crickets. Who would have came? Nobody. I probably couldn't even get Brian to come. But that's not what we did. What we did was we made it something that we could all call our own. So get over to powerwesymposium.com. What am I trying to do here? Get over there and check it out if you don't know what's going on. We'd love to see you. Join us here in Chicago, April 28th. Actually, if you want to come in the 27th and meet with us at the mansion that night for pizza and wine while we lay everything out for the kids like it's Christmas Eve, and tomorrow morning it's Christmas morning. Walk the red carpet with us the next morning, and then celebrate these 287 is the last count as of yesterday. It was supposed to be 250. 287 kids coming. So just so excited. We're going to have a Shark Tank pitch fest. The students are submitting their ideas now. We have the How I Plan to Impact the World essay competition. And if you remember, our winner, Melanie Ramos from Atlanta, ended up getting a $750,000 endowment from Georgia Tech and 3 scientists to help her make what she thought was going to be just a 1,000-word essay a reality. Melanie has most likely changed everything for the next couple generations of her family. That's what the power of we can do. Okay, can I get an amen? So listen, also real quick, this Thursday, Dr. Walt Whitman, the founder and the leader of the Grammy Award-winning Chicago Soul Children's Choir, will be here with Dr. Chip Johnson. Dr. Chip is bringing the lion's share of the kids to the power of we, and we're going to have them both here. But I wanted to show you something. Why I love connecting with especially nonprofits. I have like 6 nonprofits that we're featuring at the Power of We Symposium this year. We always have some space where nonprofits can come and show their face, tell their story. Same thing with the Next Impactor competition. We featured 7 nonprofits in there. And I believe that that's it's a duty for me, a responsibility to open the door. When I was before this career, I was an event planner for 26 years, and I specialized in nonprofit fundraising. And in that industry, that's like box office poison. Don't nobody want to touch them because it's hard to make money. But I did it. I found my niche, y'all. Yes. And so that's why I love the hard work that people that have nonprofits. But we're going to talk about that today. How do you know if you should do a for-profit or a nonprofit? And our guest today, Travis Johnson, is known circles far and wide. First of all, I love him because he's a vet. Thank you for that. He helps veterans and regular people all over the world. He is known as the nonprofit architect. So he's back to help us. And I know Jeanette Ramos, if you're not here, somebody call her, tell her get in here, because she just started a nonprofit and it's moving fast, y'all. Right. She's on the phone with Congress people every day, senators. A couple months ago, because she coaches with me about 4 months ago, it was just an idea in her head. First, we got the logo, then we got the name, then we got the logo, on and on and on. And now she's ready to look for a $10 or $12 million building, and people are there to help her. So just goes to show you, but we're going to help you get started if that's what your druthers, if that's on your bucket list and you want to change the world. But before we do that, I wanted to show you something. The kids, the Chicago Soul Children's Choir, have shown you some of their work from time to time, but I wanted to show you this. This is brand new. We're going to be featuring it at the Power of We. There is a youth choir that came from Japan to work with the Chicago Children's Choir, Soul Children's Choir, on a song that they're using. Their goal is to raise $1 million for the orphans in Ukraine. And they just finished it this weekend. Dr. Walt Whitman, who I said will be here Thursday with Dr. Chip, he sent it to me last night and said it was okay to share it with you guys. And so I wanted to show you a little bit of what these kids are doing. It's just so heartwarming. So let's take a look real quick. Then we'll get Travis in here. Here we go. I hope you guys can hear it.
The pregnant woman who was pulled out of the rubble of a maternity hospital has lost her life along with her baby. Children dying, babies crying all across our land.
What on earth is going on? Please help me understand.
Pray for us before we're gone, and if I die, please carry on.
The siege is underway, so please send help today. Fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, we never wanted war. We're under attack, but we're fighting back. It shakes us to our core. Bombs are from the sky, there's thousands dying wide. Little girls and boys, generations destroyed. We sing for Ukraine, all together, one forever. We sing for Ukraine, raise your voices, never let them. On me to the beat, to understand, we will sing for Ukraine. We will sing for oh, we sing, we sing, we sing, we sing for Ukraine. We sing for peace, we sing harmony. We sing for Ukraine. Yes, we sing for you and me. Yes, we sing for harmony.
Okay, because I'll sit here all day, and I want Travis in here so we can get some nuggets in your hands. But you guys, we're working with them, and I'll tell you this: we're going to have a pay-per-view option, $10 a ticket for the Power of We Symposium, and we're also going to be re-showing it over and over and over for the next few months. And everything that we generate from the Power of We Symposium pay-per-view, we're going to split it right down the middle. Half will go towards the Power of We Symposium 2023. Is this 2022? What year is this? Yeah. Oh, Lord, senior moment. Don't laugh. They peeking around the corner at some of y'all right now. Look over there. See it? Right. Uh-huh. Right. Don't worry. Don't. I'm just saying. Y'all got junior moments, too, you under 40s. You know, where are my glasses? So anyway, yeah, we're going to split half the proceeds with We Sing for Ukraine. And their goal is to raise $1 million. And I know they're going to do it, right? Because the power of we is something else. Can I get an amen? You guys, today, Travis is here, and he shares his perspective as the former vice president of Books by Vets and a board member at the S.H.I.N.E. S.H.I.N.E. Foundation. He's donated over Oh, you like to donate, huh? Oh, okay. Put it on out there then. Y'all get ready. Let's pressure him. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, no, I'm not. He's donated over. I can't get past 30,000. I'm stuck. 30,000. That cover everything I need, and then some. Travis, I think we cousins. We kind of look alike. There. He's volunteered over 1,500 hours. He's raised more than $500,000, and he's helped start 6 nonprofits. He's an event coordinator and a published author. Travis is currently serving as he's not an active duty. He's retired now. See, I got stuck in my throat. And he's married, has 2 children, and he's on the move. And on move number 50, we got to figure out what that is. His humble beginnings include 36 moves. Oh, actual moves. Oh, you were in foster care too? I didn't know that. Oh, well, let me quit lollygagging and get him in here, you guys. Put some hearts on the screen. But more importantly, can I count on you to put your heart into this conversation? Because we need you, or it will not be illuminated. There we go. Here he comes, everybody. The nonprofit architect himself, Travis Johnson. Hey. Hi, Travis. Aw.
Good morning, Lauren.
I'm not going to say it. I had an idea. I was like, oh, look at it. Never mind. How are you?
Hey,
You already know.
Fabulous. Absolutely
Good.
fabulous.
I'm so glad you're here. Let me turn that scroll across, that trolling thing at the bottom. It might be distracting for some folks. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Well, I'm glad you're back. We're going to get into some real stuff today. But before we get all into the nonprofit world and all that, how you been?
It's been a rough year, Lauren. We talked last week. It's been a thing.
Talk about it if you're okay with it. Yeah, we did talk last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a little surprising for you.
I needed to hear it.
Yeah.
I absolutely needed to hear it.
Tell everybody what you've been going through. I mean, we've all been in something. What's it been like for you? Share.
So we are almost into April, right? We've got almost 3 months completed in 2022.
Yeah.
We've been working on getting my wife brain surgery for the past 4 years, and we flew out to Johns Hopkins in Baltimore in
Wait a
January.
minute. Did you say brain surgery?
Yeah, brain surgery.
You said that like you were talking about Folgers coffee or something. That shows that, it's just, I can't imagine living with something like that and it can casually come off your mouth. That shows what you've been dealing with. But go ahead. So you've been for 4 years working on this brain surgery.
Working on brain surgery, trying to get it done before I retired from the Navy. And we get out there and she tests positive for COVID. And they say, we can't do surgery, leave. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to reschedule surgery, how we're going to get this done before I retire, because I don't want to pay whatever percentage of copay of brain surgery. You know what I mean?
$240,000 or something. My knee replacement, I got because military as well, but I still got to see the bill, and that joint was $212,000.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky I can't pawn this knee, because back in the day, that sucker would have been sitting up on somebody's shelf in the pawn shop. How much you give me for this knee? Anyway, go ahead. So how's it going? How's your wife? Did you guys reschedule?
We rescheduled. We got it done in February. We'd fly back out to Baltimore, get it done.
Hey, how is she?
She's great. She's right over there napping right now. Yeah. Hey, keep it down, could you?
Right.
I don't think I could. We can't lower the energy of this show. That's not okay.
Impossible. So you were
Impossible.
able to get it done before you retired?
Able to get it done before we retired.
Yay.
Got home. My daughter's here with her boyfriend, and he's in the Army. And I know that he's going to ask me, for my blessing to marry my daughter. And then 2 days later, she's like, Dad, we want to get married on your wedding, or excuse me, on your retirement date, which is less than 10 days away. We want to do it at your party. What do you think? And I'm like,
hashtag shotgun.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. For all of you that went, your first thought is that she's pregnant. That's not
I
it.
was just saying, like, he can be a grandfather. I swear I was thinking it. Okay.
They won't move your girlfriend in the military if you get orders and you leave. So you've got to be married to do that. And I figured that's what it was. And that's what it was. So we're in the week leading up to the same day wedding retirement. And my wife's grandma turns 91, and the next day she passes away.
Ooh, that was almost a Betty White thing. Remember how close to 91? So you have a death of a family member in there.
Death of a family member. And at the same time, so this is within this same week, I retired from the Navy. I finished up my internship. They're supposed to have a good job offer for me. The job offer's far, far less than expected. Grandma dies. There's another kid in the family that's born. And then 2 days later is the wedding that was planned with less than 10 days and the retirement party. And then we have a day off. And then we drive from Oklahoma City to Minnesota to go up to the funeral, do the funeral. I get up there and I go to see my mom, and she's in the middle of a manic episode. So this is all just back to back.
For some people who may not know, explain real quick, what's a manic episode?
It's a little bit different for everyone that has bipolar disorder. You have manic episodes, which is you run on highs. You can do anything. Sometimes you're up for days. You have endless energy, and right up until it hits you with the counterbalance and on the depressive side. My mom did this her whole life. And I always know when it's happening. It's not often that I'm the one that discovers it. So at the tail end of all that stuff that was happening, which is a lot of stuff, big capital S stuff, right? Capital S stuff. I get over there and she's in the midst of not being well. We do all of this stuff. All of this stuff happens. I get back to Oklahoma City. My wife stays in Minnesota to help Grandpa with the farm and taking care of the house and a few things. I get back to Oklahoma City. My daughter walks out clutching her chest, crying. Says, Dad, there's a sharp pain. I pick her up, take her to the hospital to go see. No heart attack, no punctured lung. Not sure exactly what happened.
Did you say TOC? What did you just say? TOC or TLC?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, Lord. Uh-oh. I'm looking around, making sure I don't see a lunch table somewhere over there with Whitney Houston sitting there going, "Come on, sit down." You know what I mean? I'm like, "What's that?" So, okay. So
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
What do you feel that's all about? I mean, because I know I have my thoughts when it happens like that.
Mhm.
I say there's a big blessing right around the corner, and you need to be able to feel every single ounce of that blessing and appreciate
Mhm.
it. So, what do you think got you through this? How are you?
Well, a couple different things. There definitely was a point in there that I started freaking out. Doesn't happen to me too often because I've
How'd
been
that
through a lot.
like throw stuff? Did you like have to get out and drive and get away from everybody? Did you cry? How
I
was that?
I got out and went on a drive.
That's what I do.
Was about losing my stuff. I was like, I got people to call. Called my dad. And just went through, just rattled off all the stuff. And then my phone rang with another buddy, so I switched over to him and I was talking to him, and I ran through the same level of stuff. And then my dad called back 2 minutes later, called back, and he's like, "Look, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're going through, but the surgery you've been waiting for years happened. It's a birth defect. She's 40, finally got it fixed. Finally figured out what it was. Finally got it fixed after 40 years. He's like, that's done. You
That's your
can't
wife.
control your, it's my wife. Yep. Can't control your wife. She's going to do whatever she wants to do, whether, regardless of what you say.
Yeah.
And he's like, your daughter, that's a huge gift. I was like, what do you mean it's a huge gift? You didn't spend 10, 11 months planning no wedding. You didn't spend $30,000 on some venue and some magical perfect day or whatever it is.
Yes.
He's like, from notification to completion's like 9 days. I mean, you can't get better than that. So you've
Okay.
got a little healthy dose of perspective and experience, right? And then I use something I used for my military training that I learned while going through flight school. It's called the closest alligator to the boat. Now, when you have all this stuff going on and you stack them all up and you look at them, it's about impossible to deal with. But if you're in your little boat and all these things coming are alligators coming to eat you, you don't have to deal with all of them, right? There's no way you can solve all those problems at the same time. You only got to deal with the one that's going to eat you next, the one that's closest to the boat. That's the only one you have to deal with. Yeah.
I wish the alligator would try to eat me. I'll turn him into a pair of shoes, slippers, boots, a belt, whatever. I'm not.
Get a full matching set, right? Get a full matching set.
You see, I'll be qualifying for the Olympics because I'll swim, run, bike, whatever to get away from him. I'm scared of those things. Okay, but I love the analogy. I love the analogy. So go ahead.
We've got all this stuff. And I said, okay, I'm not doing anything that I don't have to do. At this time, I had the internship and stuff. Like, I can't do anything about that. The job hours is going to be what's going to be. I was waiting on this course that I held built for podcasting. Ultimate Podcast Guide. It was a huge success. Turned it into a course. And I was like, I'm just waiting on this thing. Just nothing I can do. Just got to wait. And I got into this area of real calmness and real peace because I was doing what I could do and letting God handle the rest. It doesn't matter what I wanted to have happen through all those things. I was like, all I can do, I can be here, I can be present, and I can make sure that whatever else is coming our way, it's handled by the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this just in time thing. Just in time. What's going to happen? That's next week's problem. Sometimes I plan for that, but sometimes that is next week's problem, and I ain't handling it today. So we went from the extreme to where I had to get out and go for a drive to being able to sit here, be present, handle things as they popped up. We didn't, because it was such a short fire wedding, we didn't have to go through all the things like, oh, you have to give flowers. Well, who's going to decide what flower? Who cares? What does the bride want? What does she ask of us? We're not going to force our opinions. We're not going to force our thoughts on what it should be or any of that stuff because it's not my wedding.
Right. So let me ask you something, Trev. Let me ask you something. Because, when you go through, I know when I say you, I should say we, when we go through those things, I know with my experience where it just seems like, oh my goodness, when it rains, it pours. What next? All this stuff. and they're life things. You have a birth, you have a death, you have surgery, you have all these things. Your face is just like taking through all the just the gamut of emotions. But on the other side of it, I've always found that when I look back over my shoulder, I've learned something about myself I never knew existed.
Mhm.
Could you say or not affirm or disaffirm whether that was the case for you? Did you find out? Did you learn anything about yourself after this that you didn't know before?
I think I knew it before, but I had to get reminded that no
Oh,
matter what comes my way,
and what was it?
I am still, if I'm being still and handling things as they come, as they arrive, and not try to handle all the problems in the next 3 weeks, 5 months, whatever, but
Mhm.
handle them as they come, I don't even have to draw my sword to defeat that enemy.
I know that's right. How interesting that you say that. There was a thing when we were in Las Vegas this past summer for I was speaking at the Star Trek convention, and there was something that happened there. And Jeanette Ramos, I don't know if you're here, but she heard it secondhand because her son Daniel was with us. And I kept telling them afterwards, I kept hearing what is greater than me whispering, Lauren, don't draw your sword. Don't draw your sword. This is not a battle. This isn't even your fight. You don't need that. And I love what you said there because oftentimes we think we call things battles that aren't battles. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes it takes you got to know what's in your toolkit that you carry, your armor. Sometimes it's just you need a mirror just to stick it around the corner to see what's around there. Sometimes you just need some Windex to put on something that's so damn dirty. All it needs is to get wet and it's going to start melting away. It's going to give you everything you need. And that sword is a last resort because I'm serious. If I pull my sword, a head is coming off. You see? So I think that's a real important piece right there. So how has your life been, your business and everything, let's say, since, we've been moving through this COVID thing, and I don't think it's over yet, but let's turn the corner, if we would. And you're known as right behind your right shoulder. I had to see which one is the nonprofit architect logo. Talk about how that got started and what is it you love so much about nonprofit and why do people need the help and assistance of the nonprofit architect?
Yeah, absolutely. I really got started. You read my bio earlier and all the stuff that I've been through,
Yeah.
but through all those things, there was always some person, group, church, nonprofit willing to help keep us sheltered, clothed, and fed. And when I finally got to that place where I wasn't in survival mode, where I wasn't in scarcity, I started contributing. I started volunteering. I figured out ways to give back, started giving money, planned giving, and started serving on boards. And before I knew it, I had a published book and another published book and another published book, and people were asking me to speak. And I got stationed overseas. I got stationed in the Middle East in the Kingdom of Bahrain, which is a little island in the Persian Gulf. And I was like, "How am I
Wait, did
supposed
you
to?"
say Bahrain?
Bahrain?
Bahrain, yeah, Bahrain. Sorry,
Yeah,
I misspoke.
yeah.
Is that lady that has that little fish market, over by that one corner? You know who she has the
Hmm.
like grayish hair. Remember her?
Yeah, she's still there.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're good. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you all know what I want to do. Go ahead.
I was overseas and trying to figure out how I could keep providing value to nonprofits. And someone's like, "Well, you kind of got this podcasting voice. Have you ever thought about starting a podcast?" And I was like, "Podcast? I don't know anything. I don't know anything about podcasting." And I gave it a start. And I looked into the nonprofit world on podcasting. I said, "What's missing?" And I found out that people weren't really having how-to conversations. I knew a lot. I was really good at a lot of things that I did, but I didn't know everything. So I wanted to bring on people as an interview show, people that are making their primary income either in a nonprofit, helping a nonprofit, or someone in business and leadership that can help nonprofits do everything better. And we started having these fantastic discussions, giving people the how-to. If you look at a lot of coaches out there, they give you the what, but never the how. They
Mm.
want to hold on to that stuff for whatever. And you buy 6, 8, 10 programs deep, and they've still never given you the full how, which just drives me crazy. But we started doing that, and I kind of assumed that I'd be doing things like a lot of nonprofit coaching consulting, and I had a few clients, but not too many. What people really started wanting to know is how can they do podcasting? How can they start their show? What should they talk about? Why does that matter? And how to do it better. I was just publishing my stats and sharing different things. And people are like, dude, I've had a podcast for like 2 years longer than you. You've already passed me in downloads. Like, how do you do that? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, you've been podcast. He's like, yeah, I'm not getting the downloads. How you doing it? And it was crazy that some people that reached out to me, I was like, are you serious? Like, I'm really ahead of you?
Sorry, I've been triggered. Crazy. Okay, I'm back.
And they're like, yeah, no kidding. What'd you do?
Don't be around here on April Fool's Day, the first day of April. I'm gonna be a humdinger of a cray because just wait. But go ahead.
That's actually my wife's birthday, April 1st.
Oh my goodness.
Should be 41 on Friday.
You want me to call and pretend like I'm Oprah or Gail? I could do both their voices. Or I could call and be Louise Jefferson, but she's dead, Isabel Sanford. How about Oprah? I can call and be Oprah. You want to fool her?
I have never dared to pull a prank on my wife for her birthday. Have never dared.
Better. Okay,
be the first time, be the first year. Travis, how does Oprah have my number?
I love her though, because she has a holiday birthday. I have a holiday birthday.
What's your birthday?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. Why do you think in that shift cover I'm red, white, and blue? Not just because it's Robert Garcia's military magazine, because I'm born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, they had a movie named after you. Born on the 4th of July?
Yes, born on the 4th of July. April Fool's Day. That's even better than Christmas, though. April Fool's Day? Man, I'll tell you what, though. Don't ever call people. I did this one year, and I probably lost half my friends. I did it 2 years in a row. First year, I said, did you hear Chelsea Clinton got killed in a train crash? Right. The next year, I tried to kill off Oprah, and people, when I said, I'm April Fool's, click. April Fool's, click. Don't call me anymore. Don't play with Oprah. Just saying. Chelsea all day long, but Oprah, don't. So
don't mess with your heroes. Yeah.
Don't mess with them. So Travis, here's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
What? I don't know how to put this out there. Nonprofits. Okay. A lot of people abuse that space. Let's put it that way. They don't know, they don't have good intentions. They're not going to do the right thing, this, that, and the other. How do we tell if this nonprofit that sounds good, I love the name, and ain't that a cute logo? How do you know they're really doing the right thing with your money?
That's an excellent question. It's probably the question, because if you go to nonprofit websites, it says what they do. Doesn't say how effective they are at it.
Right.
You can go on GuideStar and you can see what money goes where, but that really doesn't tell you nothing, right? It tells you that they're paying people either poorly, right? So are they using your money effectively if they don't have any superstars that they're paying well? Or are they overspending? Like, it really doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you how effective their programs are. If you are wanting to contribute to a nonprofit, you need to do some investigative work. You need to put on your investigative hat. And I heard you say I was retired, so I'll get the old retired hat on here.
Yay! Congratulations.
Exciting. 22 years, all done with a pretty little bow.
I know that's right.
You got to do some investigative work. You get to see what it is they're saying, see what it is that they're doing. If you're listening and you hear month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year, oh, we have this emergency fundraising need. That means that their fundraising programs are garbage and they never really get the money they need to be sustainable and successful. If you hear an organization that says, oh, we're all volunteer, that's great, except for how sustainable is that? How sustainable is that till the founder gets burned out and then whatever money was there goes to some other nonprofit because they're done. They're wiped out. We can't do it. Are they training? Are they paying people real money? You're not going to bring Emmitt Smith out of retirement and try to win the Super Bowl. You're going to pay that hot news running back stud to win the Super Bowl. You're going to have to pay.
You said Emmitt Smith.
Why?
Because when I had Apology Accepted, when I was 26 and I had the apology company, he was the first celebrity apology that I did. A woman hired me to give an apology to Emmitt Smith. I went to his house.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
Don't punch me because you probably don't even like this woman. But anyway, yeah, it's funny you said that. I haven't heard that name in years. But go on.
You want to make sure what they're doing is sustainable, that it's effective, that it's meeting what the mission is. If you look right now, you've got more than 53,000 nonprofits dedicated to veterans. But how many of them are actually working towards the thing that they're saying they're doing? Are they working towards helping veteran suicide? Well, are they fighting one of the three main indicators leading up to suicide? Are they helping with sleep disturbance? Number one indicator. Number two indicator is financial distress. Do they have any financial counseling programs? Number three is lack of community and purpose. Almost all of them are doing that one. But
Mm-hmm.
how many are dealing with the first two?
And
If
why
they're
do you
strong,
think that is? That they don't, so many are doing all the same things. To me, it's like I remember as an event planner one time I got called out to LA to help. They had like within a 5-mile radius 19 food banks, but none of them were really successful in servicing because they were all doing the same thing. But when we got them all together, now one became grains and breads and this, the other one became canned goods, not and then they started being more effective. So my question is this: when choosing to start or not, or considering possibly starting a nonprofit, how important is it to see what other people are doing and see if there's a niche or a gap that's not being serviced that you can then fill so that the overall mission has a broader service for people?
that's exactly it. Number one, you've got to make sure that you're financially stable. You've got to be able to take care of your family, take care of your household before you start a nonprofit.
That's why I ain't never started one.
Exactly. Number two, you want to see what's available in the area. I did an interview with Candace Leozu. She runs Foster 360, and I know that's something you care about.
Yes, and I'm
She
aware.
looked. She was a businesswoman, wanted to help people aging out of the foster care system. She looked around the greater Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, Arizona area, and she found that there was tons of nonprofits related to foster children. What she found is that they were being treated just like they were in foster care. If my organization couldn't help, I would just pass you over to the next one. If you were in one foster care house and something happened, you had to just get passed over to the next one, right? So she created a mentorship system that'll help navigate with one person all the little things that are available all over town. So she has a mentor that's side by side with them no matter which system they're using. So she helps meet that gap. You have to see what's out there, what's available. Maybe you're going to find that there's already people doing what it is you want to do. And instead of starting your own show, you can just go help. Like Lauren here is helping with Ukraine, and he's supporting children, and he supports 6 or 7 nonprofits per event. He
Mhm.
doesn't have to start his own organization in order to help those people. Maybe you
Right.
find someone that's serving the people you want to do, but they don't do the thing that you want to do. Well, maybe you can start that program under their umbrella and you can just run the program. No
There you
one starts a nonprofit just because they want to be a fundraiser. They start a nonprofit because they want to help a group of people.
Right.
And
Best
when you
way
start your
possible.
own show, you
Right.
never get the chance to help those people. You're too busy running the organization.
So one of the things, let's talk about this if we could. A lot of people always ask me, they did this at the beginning of my speaking career too. Like, why are you giving out free coaching to people in your area? I was doing it right here in Chicago.
Mhm.
Who to show them your technique about how you're getting all these speaking gigs. So I was breaking records. Thumbtack featured me. I did 119 paid speaking gigs the first 6 or 7 months, and it kept going. And they were like, "But that's your competition." I'm like, "Girl, please. I am not in competition with any other person. I'm in competition with time. I'm trying to get it done because we all
Mhm.
gonna run out of time." But I want to say this: even like when I got 10 grand to raise in about 2 weeks, halfway before my event. And it's always happened, but it doesn't stop me from saying, "Oh, look, the Ukraine kids, they're trying to, $1, they try each donation." People say, "But what if that was money that could have went to the Power of Weed?" Listen, I can't take anyone's blessing and nobody can take mine or
Mhm.
ours. And so I just put it that way. And I really believe that that's a true test of manifesting abundance. When you can't hold on to stuff in your pocket. What you want from me? I ain't got none. I can't. Because the thing about it is, I always find that every time it looks like I can't, but then I do, something really, really wonderful comes when I need it the most. And to me, that's like my double indemnity policy. I know I said that wrong. I messed that word up. But anyway, how you say it? Indemnity.
You nailed it. Double indemnity.
Okay. So see, you're telling on yourself. So but I really do talk about this one. Nonprofits that don't reach out to each other. When I was in the business of fundraising, I remember it was Meals on Wheels of Southwestern Michigan. They were 5 little old ladies running the whole thing, serving thousands of meals a week and inside some school programs and stuff. And everything kept getting cut. Older people in our county were eating pet food because last year the funding was higher and they could service this all the way out to Etta Louise Johnson's house. But now because of budget cuts, they can't go. So I literally saw this where the guy across the street could get a meal. It was in the district, but the house right next door to him, who also used to get them, they got cut off. And that bothered me. So I was like, what can we do to help them? So what I did was I was doing the American Red Cross's event. And I asked them, it was an outdoor 3-day thing. Would you be okay? You're not selling water. What if we got some American Flyer wagons, put the women from the Meals on Wheels in little aprons and let them run around the grounds and sell bottled water to help and they went for it. And that was 22 years ago. They're still doing it. They're still doing it.
That's perfect.
And they met people. They were in front of people and people started building. Let's talk about that. If you have a nonprofit, about building the donor base and things that you have to do so that you can experience longevity. Because a lot of them, when I was coming out of the law, what do you let's just say it, the jail system, you have those re-entry program stuff. And the most frustrating thing for me, Travis, was they get me all set up to go to this place to learn how to do resumes and stuff. You go to 1 or 2 classes, next thing you know, they done went out of business. And they weren't doing what they said they were doing for us, but they were getting all this money.
The biggest thing that I teach is you have to have sustainable recurring funding, not fundraising, funding. If you have to run a program that's $12,000 a month, $144,000 a year, and you are in January and you work your tail off and you get $12,000 and the month clicks over to February, too bad, so sad. We don't care all the great stuff you did in January. You're on a whole new game, a whole new mission. You're starting at zero again. Go give me another $12,000. What a pain is that? Are you a military recruiter? You got 5 people in last month and now it's this month and you don't have none yet? Well, you must be a bag of trash. You don't have that done yet? Come on. What you can do, and everyone in here either works at a business, owns a business, or knows someone that does. There's things like sharing the credit where you change out your credit card processor. And down here, you have all the back end stuff you need to run a business, and everything up here is profit. Well, if you're going to a business and 80% of small businesses run and are funding nonprofits all over the country, and they're taken away from their families, away from their vision, away from building their business to help your nonprofit. Or you could use sharing the credit because you all have merchant services and credit cards. That fee goes to somebody, right? It goes a little bit to Visa, a little bit to MasterCard, and most of it goes to a merchant account or a bank. But it's legally allowed to go to a nonprofit with sharing the credit. 40% of the fee that they take, 40% goes to a nonprofit of your choice. So if you're in this and you have a nonprofit that you care about and you run a business or work at a business, you can go to sharingthecredit.com and they will compete on your behalf to get you the best credit card rate. And then out of the back end, fund the nonprofit that you care about. They give you a nice sticker. It says Visa and MasterCard. And this business, Laura Michaels Harris, supports Feed Ukraine with each and every swipe. Goes right on the front door.
That's beautiful. That reminds me, and there's a lot of things like that we didn't know about. When I had he's at the Power of We Symposium, the Donovan Burnett from the show Queens on Hulu. He was doing his toy drive and we had him on the show, and he put me up on Amazon Smile. which I had no idea of. Now I pass it out to everybody. Because as
Mhm.
much as we use Amazon for things, I did not know that you could go in there and connect with your favorite nonprofit. And every time you use Amazon, a portion goes to them. How do we
Absolutely.
go about finding places that we can connect to that doesn't really take actual money out of our pockets, but we can still do our part? Because a lot of people, the thing is, I just don't have it. I'm barely making ends meet, but you're still buying stuff on Amazon and you can still help. Is there a place we can go to, a resource pool, if you will, that helps us do better by giving us opportunities that we don't know about, like Amazon Smile? Anything like that out there, Travis?
Well, my website, nonprofitarchitect.org, and my podcast, we interview the experts and they talk about all of these things. Things like Amazon Smiles is great for Amazon, but what if you are just walking around town? There's an app called 1010 that use it just like Google Pay, just like Apple Pay. And then every time you buy something using that app, a portion of that thing goes to the nonprofit you've already been supporting. You don't have to divert funds out of your pocket. You've got to be able to divert them out of the back end. Well, if you sign up with Sharing the Credit and you give it to, I'm a small local nonprofit, who really knows me? Well, there's people that already know and support you. This small local nonprofit got 19 businesses to sign up for Sharing the Credit, and their collective donations are $11,000 a month on the back end. And if you're doing $12,000 a month for your budget, you only got to figure out $1,000 now.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
Stop having fundraisers. Get yourself funded on the back end. Help the businesses out. Don't give them a logo on your website that gives you almost no value. Change out their credit card processor, put money back in their pocket, let it take out from the back end to help you out. There's a dealership here in Oklahoma City, and dealerships, if you don't know, like their maintenance department, they do $1 million a month in credit card swipes. They were donating $25,000 every quarter to a nonprofit.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. They changed out their credit card processor out their merchant account, and they were giving $130,000 a year off the back end.
Wow.
That's more than $10,000 a month to a single nonprofit.
Wow.
Yeah, create that one relationship that's going to fund you. Stop having fundraisers, start having friend raisers, and say, hey, come and join with us. We've got this barbecue. Everything's paid for. We're going to tell you about the great things. If you want to support us, hey, we're not going to, shoo away your money, but it's not about that. We're just going to be here and celebrate the great things that we're doing because we're already funded. We're already funded. And when you go to a donor and you don't need it, changes the conversation. It changes the relationship. It allows you to be more present. It allows you to build real relationships. And when we're all working together, just think how far we can go.
Amen. Question. What should go through our minds when we see someone puts us up on a new nonprofit or a nonprofit that's new to us and they say, here's the site, check them out. And it's .com and not .org. Should that send up a red flag? Does that mean they're not a good?
Means nothing.
Talk about that, because a lot of people think if they don't see .org, you're a fake, you're a fraud, you're trying to steal my money.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You can file right now as a website .whatever, except for .gov and .edu are restricted. Nonprofitarchitect.org, you can start whatever organization.org right now website without any paperwork or anything that matters. You don't need to have your 501c3 to be a .org.
You don't?
You don't. I am not a nonprofit. I've got a .org right now.
So you're telling me when people see I thought you had to be a nonprofit. Who knew?
I know.
A lot of people think the moment they see .org, legitimate.
It's on your screen right now. Not a nonprofit.
Something's wrong about that. Why should you be able to get .org and you're not a nonprofit? I thought that was designated specifically for. Why isn't that up there with .gov and .edu?
It's a great question. Something you can ask your congressman.
Never mind. Okay, what about this one? The difference between, how do you know, should you start a nonprofit versus a for-profit?
It really has a lot to do with what you want the organization to look like. First off, starting a business and starting a nonprofit are both impossibly hard. They really are. What 1 in 5 businesses fails in the first year, and 3 of 5 failed by year 5. It's the same numbers or worse for nonprofits. Well, you got to realize that when you start a business, it's you. You can do whatever thing. You can make decisions. You can do whatever. Nonprofit, if you start a nonprofit business instead of for-profit business, nonprofit business isn't owned by you. It is owned. Your board is responsible to the community for the execution of your mission. You shouldn't just start a nonprofit just to start a nonprofit.
That's exactly why. Thank you for putting that out there, because a lot of people, every time I have a Power Week, they go, well, Lauren, it would be easier if you were a nonprofit. No, it would not. Because for me and what I want to do, see, I want my nonprofit. I didn't build this brand, Power Week Symposium, for next week or next month or next year. I'm building it for 100 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm building it for. And so I always felt the downloads telling me to keep the collar of a board off, because I'm going to tell you, I'm sure it doesn't apply to all, but when I was in that business of fundraising, it was fun till Daddy took the T-bird away, until I had to start meeting with that board, because a lot of them they put a ton of pastors on there, and then, or you have people who have political aspirations, and the only time they show up is at the black tie events, and they don't help sell no damn tickets. They want to run everything. They want to, that's the only time they have something to say. A lot of them. I'm just saying. And that's why I chose not to. Now, before we need more time. I took too much time for Power Week. I need to get you back. Let's talk about this real quick. Social enterprise. Tell people what that is. A lot of people don't even know it exists. It's been around for a minute.
Yeah, social enterprise and beneficial corporations. There's organizations out there like Tom's Shoes. Tom is not a person. Tom is tomorrow's shoes. And that's a promise, a social contract they have, that when you buy 1 pair of Toms, they give a pair away. Which means there's enough profit margins selling one to have the ability to easily buy another pair to give it away, and they still can build their business off of that. There's people out there like Lauren, like myself, that'll make special event T-shirts, promote it to our stuff, and it'll benefit a nonprofit. You do not have to start your own nonprofit or get some 501 whatever designation based on what kind of organization you are,
exactly,
in order to make a difference. You don't have to do that. In fact, it's a lot easier not to make a difference.
I'll tell you, nothing is ever about just one thing, and that's why we feature a handful of nonprofits at every one of my events, because why? I'm building relationships with them. I'm presenting them to my audience and my audience to them. Why? Because when they start, I partner with some of them, so that we, they say, hey, we partner like a fiduciary, so that, they in-kind receipts. That's how we will help you. Let us help you and you help us. So somebody wants to donate $10,000, they can bring it through our nonprofit, and they can have so talk about that. Is that ethical?
Yeah, absolutely. It's ethical. There's lots of ways to have nonprofits funnel donations and holdings just so you can do other things. As long as it meets their mission, you can do it.
That's right.
For those of you that have nonprofits and you have some 3 or 4 sentence thing that's your mission, would you stop? Would you please stop? There's an organization called TED, like TED Talks. You know what their mission statement is?
What?
Spread ideas. 2 words. Think how many things fall under the umbrella of spread ideas. You don't want to have restrictions to how you can spend your money? Shorten up that mission statement. Make it easy for everyone to understand, and I'll make it allow for a lot more different ways to spend your money. If you say, I want to help veterans through equine therapy, now anything that doesn't have to do with veterans being helped through horses no longer counts, which means it's a taxable event. But if you were saying help veterans, then the flag football team that starts up, that's still under that same umbrella and not just horses.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here's your link tree. And I'm going to drop that in the comments so you guys can hit it and then go over and check out all of the non-profit architects funnels. What would you, as we've run out of time, I'm going to bring you back after The Power of We is in the books. You know what I'm saying? So I can say, well, here's what happened, and here's this, and here's that, and maybe bring in a couple of the nonprofits that we featured this year to be on the show here with us to talk about the experience of what because I got 3 new ones this year that I've never worked with, and I'd love to bring them in and let you moderate and let's just talk it out. And as for you all out there, head over to nonprofitarchitect.org, not just for people who are trying to start or have an existing nonprofit, but you can find all kinds of great intel about how to make a difference without feeling the difference in the pocket, right? So think about that. This is a modern day, this world is a modern day stone soup experience. You don't have to have an entire flock of chickens to bring to the center of town to eat with us. You can bring the husks from the corn, the shells from the pea pods, whatever you have, as long as you mean it, it's going to create something meaningful for someone in the universe. Think about that. I want to thank you so much, Travis. And listen, I'm glad that you were able to come in and share and be vulnerable and just, talk about the stuff that gets us up or not. Because if we don't clear that table, we can't set the table that the world will draw from. Think about that. And I'll see all of you again tomorrow morning, God willing, right off front on the front porch at 8 a.m. Central for another episode. Tomorrow, my guest is going to be Rebecca Mahan. She'll be here. And then don't forget to mark your calendars for Thursday, Dr. Walt Whitman from the Chicago Soul Children's Choir, and also Dr. Chip Johnson will be here, and he's bringing 200 kids to the Power of We Symposium all by himself. So that's going to be great. And Travis, listen, I want to talk to you. Let's try to get on a call later today or later this week. I'd like to know if you'd be open to doing a 5-minute video presentation that I can show my nonprofits, because that's what we do the night before when we're at the mansion setting up for the kids. We let them all get up and speak. We have pizza and salad and wine, and we let these nonprofits talk about what's important to them and why it should be important to us. And I'd love if you could pour into them, into us, to help us stay on track. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Listen, you guys, get out today and be the blessing you'd like to see in the world. But, just be yourself. Have a conversation. Today, maybe pick up the phone and text or call someone that you love that you haven't even spoken to, let's say in the last 60 days. Think about it. Who is that person? Reach out and let them know. You were on my mind. You were on my mind. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Be the blessing you want to receive. Thank you, Travis. Love you, man.
Thank you, Rory.
And I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.